All right, today we're going to discuss awareness levels and situational awareness at a high level. So, what are we talking about here? Primarily, we're talking about your level of awareness of what's going on around you, okay? This has been classified into several categories here between white and black, escalating from white to yellow, and then yellow to orange, and then orange to red, and then red to black. We're going to cover each of those individually. Let's start with white. White is important. Everyone should go to white at some point in time, right? However, we do not want to be on our phone, walking along and, run into a pole or something like that. We've all seen the sheeple out there, right? So, don't be a sheeple. We do, however, need to de-escalate to white at some point in time. This is when we're sleeping or we're chilling on the couch with our loved ones. We're totally relaxed. We know that we're in a safe area and we're not concerned about what's going to happen. This is critical because the human mind is not designed to operate at these escalated levels of awareness for extended durations, okay? As you escalate up this, the amount of time you spend in that zone should be less. We're all designed to come back to this white, but no sheeple. White, you don't have to be aware of what's going on around you, and the danger with the sheeple is that they're out in the wild, they're out in the world, wandering around without any awareness of what's going on around them or what impact they have on the things around them. So where we want to be, if we go out into the world, once we leave the safety of our little couch or wherever you call home, we are going to want to be at awareness level yellow, right? And so this is where you hear people quite often say, head on a swivel, right? So that saying is very easy to kind of convey what you want. You want to be looking around. You want to be aware of what's going on around you. Now, we're not guns up, ready to storm the castle or anything like that. We're not doing CQB. We are simply aware of what's going on around us, right? And so this is walking down the sidewalk, going to the grocery store. I might be going from the grocery store to my vehicle. I don't want to be face down in my phone, scrolling through whatever social media or messages or anything like that, because I don't know what's coming in at me from any variety of angles. This is yellow. We're simply aware of what's going on around us. At various points, if you have a decent level of awareness, at various points you are going to recognize a potential threat, right? So that doesn't mean that someone has come up and assaulted you or accosted you or anything like that. It could not be related to you at all, right? It could just be two people on a sidewalk exchanging very loud, harsh words towards each other, right? Or maybe you're in a grocery store on or any other kind of store on Black Friday and someone is fighting over the last discounted whatever consumerism product, right? That's orange. We have identified a potential threat. Okay, now that doesn't mean that this is a confirmed threat. This is just potential. We see this a lot. When we're on the road for training, we'll be sitting down in the lobby of the hotel before or after class, or maybe it's not a training day, and we'll be having breakfast down in the little lobby area or something. Here comes this person. They're either, obviously on meth or some other substance, or maybe they're just drunk, and you see them staggering in, knocking stuff over and whatnot. Well, that's a potential threat. Something I like to try to get people to recognize is that unpredictable people are dangerous. A lot of people don't make that connection, but if you can't predict what they're going to be doing, which any kind of substance abuse like meth or any other substance abuse, including alcohol, can cause someone to act irrationally, which is unpredictable, and therefore is dangerous to you because you don't know what they might do, that drunk person, right, may bump into someone else and then get angry at them for not getting out of their way, right? That's one example. Or maybe a person on some other substance might pull out a knife, and they're like, hey, you're a well-dressed person, give me your money. Whatever it might be, you want to try to identify that threat ahead of time. It's often referred to as left of bang, right? And so you want to identify that potential threat before they're an actual threat, meaning left of bang. Once that, let's use the intoxicated person as an example. Once that person has started shoving the person, or they've pulled out the knife, or whatever the situation might be, now it's go time, right? That's red. Go time. Everyone wants to be a cool guy until it's time to do cool guy stuff, right? But that's when we're up, we're moving, giving that person either verbal commands, or we may go hands-on, or we may evaluate the situation and be like, there's a gang war about to break out. I'm not getting involved. I'm just going to get out of here, right? Get to me and my family or my loved ones or people I care about to a safe location. So that is red. Red is we are in action. We have an active threat, right? We have identified an active threat, not possible, but active. And we need to take the appropriate action for that. And that's where a lot of times you're going to hear people talk about an OODA loop. O-O-D-A loop. And it's a loop because it should be done consistently, right? But you're observing, that's the first O. You're orientating yourself to what you're seeing. That's the second O. You're making a decision on what you're going to do after you've orientated to that situation, and then you take that action, right? And then you observe again, orientate, decide, and act over and over. This is in red. Now, as you go through this progress, right, your heart rate will start to increase. You will start to experience certain physiological effects of stress, okay? And that is the reason we're not designed to operate in red for an extended period of time. Short burst, yes, we have some amazing survival mechanisms built in, but not for an extended period of time. That's when you see a lot of people having PTSD. They can't bring it down, right? They're always just ready to snap in a moment. That's not healthy. You will start having both physiological and psychological problems from that. You need to be able to work both ways on this progress bar. However, there exists down here black, okay? I'll be honest with you, we really don't want to go to black if you can at all avoid it. Now, in our training, in our Responder 3 portion of the training, we try to bring our students right here and skirt this line between red and black because we get to see the most clear evidence of what happens to them under stress. But black is, you're no longer functioning properly, okay? And it's why it's dangerous to be out in the world in white, because if you're out in the world in white and you're not in yellow or orange, if you're simply wandering around like a sheeple, you tend to jump straight to black and skip all the other awareness levels, okay? Black is where all of our survival mechanisms and all of that stuff starts to break down, right? And so many people have heard fight or flight. But it's actually 3 F's. Fight, flight, or freeze. And for one reason or another, whether it's because you're not breathing properly and your brain starts to shut down, cognitive decline, or whether it's simply panic. Typically in black, what we see is this freeze, because orange and red, you're making this decision between fight or flight. But then once you hit black, you're useless, okay? And so we really want to avoid this black, whether it's from physical conditioning, mental conditioning, resiliency, incorporating these things into our daily life and our training, so that when we start approaching that edge of red, borderline black, we're able to govern ourselves, self-regulate, and bring that back down. So these are the awareness levels. This is the progression chart from white, yellow, orange, red, and black. I hope that has given you some information on what to be aware of in the world and how you should conduct yourself in it. This has been Refuge Medical Training. Thank you very much.